All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, under the category of being a no brainer, the Indiana Pacers have taken care of forward Pascal Siakam as the All Star intends to stick around. And he intends to sign a new 4 year deal for 189.5 million. Now, of course, Siakam was acquired by the Pacers mid-season from the Toronto Raptors, and he quickly became the Pacers' leading scorer in both the regular season and the postseason. Indiana was 24 and 18 in the regular season after they acquired Siakam. Before we saw them go on that run and get to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in a decade. Now, this was a deal that had to get done, and it works out for both sides because if you're Indiana, first and foremost, you look at the productivity that Pascal Siakam had with this team. You look how he fit in with this offense. Then on top of that, if you're the Pacers, after you go out and trade a guy the caliber of Siakam, for a guy the caliber of Siakam, and then on top of that, after what you gave up to acquire him, you can't just turn around and allow him to leave. And honestly, it was one of those I really do believe that when Indiana, traded for Siakam during the midseason, they looked at it as a very strong possibility to say, hey, you know what? This guy's going to be in our fold for quite some time. I think the only way, if that we're talking about this and Siakam was looking to sign someplace else, was if he really didn't produce with Indiana and or if he was a locker room cancer. I don't see from the outside looking in, I don't see that part of it. It's one of those, I think the team wanted him. I think that the player wanted to be with said team. And I think anytime you have that mix where a player wants to be someplace and the team wants him, it's easy, very easy to get these type of deals done. Now, if you're Indiana, you now have your top three players signed through at least next season. Pascal Siakam just got taken care of. We saw that extension for All-Star point guard Tyrese Halliburton, and then of course Miles Turner is under contract through next season as well. Indiana has a very young and exciting team, and it's also going to be interesting to see if the Pacers bring back Obi Toppin. And the thing is, once upon a time, Toppin was a first round pick of the New York Knicks. Of course, the Pacers acquired him through the trade route. And honestly, I was very excited to see Toppin play with the Pacers in comparison to the Knicks, just due to the fact of his style of play. And I really felt that the Knicks really didn't allow Obi Toppin to be Obi Toppin. And we're seeing more of what he can be with the Indiana Pacers. And with this team, I would like to see him back. But of course, at the end of the day, it's a business. Money talks. Maybe somebody gives him an offer that is much further out of the window than the Pacers do. Maybe the Pacers lock him up. We got to wait and see. But nonetheless, Kevin Pritchard and Chad Buchanan, as they're running this front office, they have an exciting team here. And if you follow Indiana's history for the longest time, the Pacers have done a quality job over the years as far as finding and developing talent. And you look at this team, they're young, they're exciting, they're athletic, and they get up and down the floor. You look at this Pacers team, and of course, one of the questions is going to be, will they be a legit contender in the Eastern Conference next year? I can partially answer that question because, and the reason why I say partially, I really would like to see what some of the other contenders are going to do over the summer through free agency, through trades, and through the drafts, most notably through free agency and trades, because I think the draft is going to be very weak this year, like a lot of other people. But you still got to contend with the Boston Celtics. They're the defending champs. They look like they're going to bring back, for the most part, the same cast for next season. The New York Knicks, can they get healthy? Okay. The Milwaukee Bucks, this veteran team, same thing for them. And this is a Pacers team that beat the Bucks in the first round, albeit that Milwaukee was not at full strength. The Miami Heat, what are they going to do? And what are the Philadelphia 76ers going to do with all of that cap space? I do think that the Pacers fit into this. Uh, like I said before with Indiana, I would like to see them improve defensively. Indiana can score with the best of them, but at some point you're going to have to be able to stop somebody else. And that's going to be a big key for the Pacers going forward. But nonetheless, bringing a guy back like Pascal Siakam puts you right in that mix as far as being a playoff contender. Now, of course, if you're the Pacers, you took advantage, and this is no disrespect to them, but you took advantage of some injured teams en route to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's not always going to be like that, but this is still a very good, young, and exciting Pacers team. As I'm not trying to sound like a broken record, but nonetheless, the potential is there. I still do believe that they have to get better defensively if they're going to take the next step. You've got a veteran head coach who's seen it all, both as a player and as a head coach in the NBA. And I'm talking about Rick Carlisle. You have one of the younger and better point guards in the NBA in the form of Tyrese Halliburton. You've got a big in Miles Turner, and then you got a do it all guy in Pascal Siakam, as well as a lot of youth and a lot of depth on this Indiana team. Like I started off, this was a no brainer. It had to get done. Pascal Siakam wanted to be in Indiana. Indiana wanted Pascal Siakam, and when it was all said and done, it was easy for them to talk to his agents and get this deal done. And everything is done right now, except the I's being dotted and the T's being crossed, of course, when the new league year officially begins. But nonetheless, once that contract is faxed over to Siakam's representatives, or once it's passed over to the other side of the table, depending on how they do this, Mr. Siakam is going to be in Indiana for the coming years. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank all of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.